Hey guys, I'm super excited to join you right now. Wherever you are joining from, I just want to welcome you this moment. This is a very, very special moment that I get to spend time with you, but most importantly, to get to know you. This conversation is going to be very brief and is directed towards a very specific topic, and that is alcoholism. We know that we come from a place or continent or country that drinking alcohol is very normal. But what we don't take into consideration is how much alcohol has robbed us. And I just think I just want to have a conversation with you. What do you think? I think that alcohol has taken much from us than the government, the bad roads will ever will. I feel like alcohol has robbed us. It has robbed us of time. It has robbed us of our money. It has robbed us from opportunities. It has robbed us from being diligent and consistent with our craft, with our skills. I don't know. I might be wrong. Tell me, what do you think? I want to get to know you. I want to hear your perspective on this subject because it is very important that we nail this. This is what people don't want to talk about. I want to talk about the things that people don't want to talk about, that people are scared of talking about, or people don't even feel like they should talk about it at all. But I want to dive deep in there because the data is accurate. The facts are very relevant. Alcohol has robbed us of opportunities more than a bad government ever will. Do you agree? Put that in the chat. I want you to have this important conversation, have your voice heard. What is your perspective on this subject? I want you to put that in the comment section below. Also, I want you to write where you're joining us from. I want to make this as very, very personal as possible because you know of a brother or sister who has been a victim as a result of drinking alcohol. Maybe they got into an accident. Maybe they got into a fight. Someone died. Something happened. What is your perspective? Alcohol has robbed Africa from opportunities more than bad government ever will. Do you agree or do you disagree? And if you agree, why? If you disagree, tell me why. I want us to nail these things because as we embark on economic empowerment and development of our continent, it is very, very important that we nail this point. We drive this point home and be able to have perspective as to the impact of alcohol on our continent. I want to start by sharing a very interesting story based on my experience on the continent while even living abroad. So I want to talk to you, right? I want to have you understand what I'm talking about because it is very, very important. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so okay, I just want to let everybody. Okay, I see you. Okay, I see everybody joining right now. Let me start by shouting out to some people before we proceed. Azim, I see you. Azim, I see you. Please just let me know where you're watching from. Bethin, I see you. Where are you watching from? Please just let me know. I want us to have this conversation. Alcohol has robbed us more from opportunities than bad government in Africa. Wherever you're joining from, I want you to let me know what is your perspective on things. Where are you joining us from? Please put that in the chat. I want to know. Andrew, I see you. Andrew, yes, Andrew Lodick, I see you. Everybody watching right now, I just want to let you know I see you. You're welcome. So what is your perspective? This conversation is all about talking about the things people don't want to talk about. People don't want to address or face alcohol to the face. But I've seen what alcohol has done in the lives of many people that I love. I've seen what alcohol has done to my father. I see what alcohol has done to my community. And I just want to have this conversation with you and have perspective. I'll share this very interesting story with you. And then we are going to start picking up your responses and sharing them with everybody watching right now. I see you. I see everybody watching right now. I see, wow, interesting. Tick Foundation. Yes, guys, you're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome right now. Okay, I started a business in Cameroon about 3 years ago. And this is my experience. Okay, it was a restaurant business. We're operating a restaurant, kind of a fast food restaurant. We wanted to make it so flexible that people can jump in, eat something, and go to work and become productive and do better with their lives. That was the objective, to feed people. Okay, I have a religious background, but that has nothing to do with why I don't drink alcohol. Okay, but it has something to do with it, obviously, but you get the point. So while we were operating this restaurant, it started, everything was going good. The entire community, people heard about the business and they were showing up to eat. One of the guys who sold me a refrigerator for that restaurant got my number and called me. And this is what he said. He said, bro, if you want this business to thrive in Africa, truth be told, if you want this business to succeed in Africa, you should sell alcohol, because if people come and eat and then they get at least one booze, they'll be able to go out there and feel happy about their lives and go about their day. I'm like, really? So people can't just eat and drink water or drink some soft drink and remain focused and have sanity and go out there and walk? He's like, nah. If you want to succeed in this restaurant, you have to sell alcohol. I'm not kidding you, because alcohol is what people really need. And I'm like, this is not the reality of the way we want to operate things. We want to help people be better. And I don't think you will drink and be able to focus and do your job diligently. And so that is why I'm bringing up this conversation, because I said, if we have to sell alcohol for this restaurant to go the way you want it to go, I would rather shut down the business than sell alcohol. Because in my experience, I've seen the effect of alcohol every day right here, even in the United States. Every day. I've seen people die every day on the street in this country because of alcohol, because they drink and they drive. And because of that, they are not able to focus. So I just want to have this conversation with you, wherever you're joining from. This is something realistic. I remember growing up, I remember growing up, and I used to hear a brother used to tell me he doesn't smoke, and he would say, hey, he smokes rather, but he would say, hey, please don't smoke. Do not smoke. Even though I smoke, don't do it. This is the reality. Even if you're doing it, I want you to be real with the impact of alcohol. Because guess what? At least even though he told me that he smokes, don't smoke. And most people only learn based on what they see you doing. And even though he smoked, but those words helped me to understand that he knows that this cigarette smoking is actually robbing him of maybe a long life, and he could potentially get cancer. Something could go wrong with his entire system. He was conscious of that, and he was honest about it. So what I want from this conversation is not to condemn anybody. It's not to tell you you're wrong for drinking alcohol. Is for us to have the reality, or face the reality of alcohol, the impact of alcohol on our community. It has robbed us more than bad government. What do you think? Keep your comments. In Africa, honestly, in particular, Cameroon and Kenya, those are the two countries that I've heard of that the most heavy drinkers live in this country. That is, the heavy drinkers live in Cameroon and they live in Kenya, based on data. That is my research. So I want you to let me know what is your perspective on things. Please, everybody, if you're joining right now, we are talking about the impact. Please hit a comment on, let me see. So we are talking about the impact of alcohol on our continent, Africa. It has hindered development than bad government. Alcohol has hindered progress than bad government. It has stopped us from running businesses than bad government. People have lost their jobs because of alcohol than bad government. Like yeah. I remember I had a very, like, a smart brother that I had, and he was very, very smart. Had a good degree, was very, very smart. But one thing that stopped him from progressing in his life or getting all that he wanted to do was because of alcohol. Alcohol has actually robbed him of his destiny. And we don't know why things turn out for him the way they did, but alcoholism can be traced to be the effect of this. So somebody is joining us. Say hello, good morning. This is what? Obarides, I see you. So what is your take on this? What is it? Huh? What are you saying? Show me the comment. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, say true talk, sir. I see that. Hallelujah. Yeah, amazing. Awesome. So let's have this conversation going. So what do you think? Good evening. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Everybody joining right now, I see you. So what is your take on this? I see you watching. Philomena, I see you. Everybody watching right now, I just want to let you know, guys, I care about you. I care about our destiny, our community, and where we are going together as a people. And to understand the things that are affecting us or robbing us of opportunities, preventing us from really moving forward. And what we are discussing today, there are many other things we are going to address, but today we are talking about alcohol and the effect and the impact of alcoholism on our community. And I just want to say, alcohol, based on my research, has robbed us more from opportunities than bad government. Do you know of a brother or sister or friend that got caught up drinking and didn't show up to work on time? Obviously, yeah. So, yes. So I just want to read some brief comments right here as we proceed with this topic. Someone says, I think Ella Bless says, indeed, alcohol causes more harm than good. It is something that when you take a bottle, you will want to take more, and when you take more, you become vulnerable. That is true. I said there are more people who cannot do without alcohol, okay, but I prefer to stay away from alcohol. Yes, what do you think? That's a very good comment, Ella Bless, and so that's very powerful. So what do you think? What do you think, guys? Alcohol has robbed us from opportunities than bad government. And if we could be able to face alcohol in the face and say, you are a thief of joy, you've caused us to regress, you've held our continent bound. When I drink you, I am unstable, I'm not focused, I see double. Whatever that is for you, it has. Many people have died in car accidents because of alcohol. Back home, some of the people that we hear of dying and we attribute it to occultism, some of them died because they drank and they were driving. I see that every day. Every day. There was a time I lived in Dallas, Texas. There was a spot. Every time you drive up to that spot, in the next 1 hour, there will be a car accident. And most of it is as a result of people under some substance or alcohol while driving, got involved in an accident and people die every day. Yeah. So this is the thing, guys. Let me break it down. When you drink alcohol, because some people think cigarette smoking or maybe marijuana smoking compared to alcohol, they don't understand the impact or how you perceive the world when you are under this substance. When you take alcohol, you see double. You see double when you take alcohol. This is actually scientifically proven. It is medically proven. Like science has proven this out. Like when you take alcohol, you see double. That is, if there's a road here, you see two. You see two roads. So you can find yourself on this other lane and thinking that you're driving on this lane. But when you've drunk alcohol, you see double. You see two lanes. And then when you smoke, what you see is a bumpy road. Like things are like the road is going up and down, up and down. So if you're under the influence of, say, marijuana, it is easy for you to. I'm not supporting any of these substances, but if you're under the influence of some of marijuana or cigarette or something, guess what? You can be able to even avoid accidents because you just see the road being bumpy. You see what I'm saying? But with alcoholism, you see, when you drink alcohol, you see double. That is, instead of seeing one road, you see two roads. And it's easy for you to get on this other lane thinking you're on your lane, and all of a sudden you are in a car crash. And that is what happens every day. So what is your take, guys? Alcohol has robbed Africa from developing than bad government ever will. What is your perspective on things? What is your perspective on things? because that is what happens. Imagine that I just drank and I'm seeing double. I see two things. I'm seeing people. I see them two. I see two people, or maybe I see the road two times. And just imagine what that does to your entire psychology and how you're able to perceive reality, and how that can distort your view and cause you to maybe get into an accident or do something crazy. That is the impact of alcohol. So keep your opinions coming, guys. I want to hear what you think. I don't just want this to be a monologue. I want it to be a dialogue, something interactive. We have a perspective so that we can be able to do and have everything that we were called to have, and understand the real thief. The real thief is alcoholism. The real thief is alcoholism. It has stolen us. It has stolen a lot of time from us. Alcohol has stolen more time from us than you can imagine. So I see some interesting points here. Naomi said that's right. Yes, awesome, Naomi. Who was this? Oh, Samitha said that's true. Okay, we have Pamela says facts. Awesome, guys. So let's keep the conversation going as we just dive into this topic, right? We just want to have perspective, because, guys, nothing changes until we have a conversation, create awareness, and be able to have perspective based on that awareness. And then we start thinking of strategies to implement to solve this problem. If we do agree, this will become a conversation. And I want to let you know that the conversation we're having right here can finally lead to some principles or some policies that might be put into place that might help us regulate this habit that we've had, and see how we can build better communities, understanding that alcohol has robbed us. I was talking to a brother one time from Nigeria, an amazing man. He told me he lived in Maryland, right? He lived in Maryland, and Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. That is where he lived. And he said he was in school. He said the two groups of people that he saw, that he used to think that Nigerians drink, right? He said, but when he interacted with this group of individuals, he realized that Nigerians are joking when it comes to alcohol. And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, nah, Cameroonians and Kenyans drink more than any country that he has ever met on the continent. I take note for that. And I'm to be told, I prayed over these two nations that day. I prayed over Cameroon and I prayed over Kenya. And he said Cameroon and Kenya are the two countries in Africa with the highest rate of alcohol that he has experienced, that they are heavy drinkers. What is your perspective on things, guys? Alcohol has robbed us more from opportunities, becoming better people, than bad government, than bad roads, than whatever we have thought of, than colonialism. Alcohol has robbed us from opportunities. What is your take on this? Do you agree or you disagree? Alcoholism. Imagine, I remember looking growing up, right, in Africa, and I'll see a father go to work. When they leave work, the little money that they have raised for the day, they are heading to the bar. Or they are civil servants. At the end of the month, immediately they receive their salary, they are heading to the bar. And what do? They go there and they spend that money. And I just want to hold your attention for a brief moment here to say, like I said, it's not condemning you, but let's face the reality. Is it true? Think of the number of hours that you spend drinking with a friend or drinking with some people. Imagine what that time could be used for. That time could be used for you bettering your craft, expanding in your career, reading a book, networking with a friend when you're drinking. And you know that most of the conversations you have under the influence of alcohol, friends, it is never really, really good. I mean, like, most of those conversations are not really impactful. They don't really direct you towards kind of a bright future. And that is why today, while I was at a mechanic spot, and it was a Christian store, which is why we encourage people, even on this platform, try to do business with your people, do business with your fellow Christians and all of that. While we were there, and there was a book on the table, I picked up that book and I started reading. It was a Christian business, so they had Christian books, and as I opened it, and I was reading on this subject, which I'm just sharing with you. And people say, oh, Timothy, in the Bible, Paul told him to drink a little bit of alcohol so that his stomach might be fine and all of that. And we've heard things like that. But Solomon says, be very mindful of wine. And Solomon encourages us not to even be friends with people who drink or people who are glutton, People who eat meat will like, they want to gorge on the meat. They want to eat all the meat and suck up all the meat or drink all the alcohol. And he says, be very careful of those people and don't be friends with them. And but my perspective today is not to condemn the people, because it's not my job to judge, but it is my job to create awareness, have us to have perspective on the real issues that are the thief of our joy, the real problems that are the thief of our progress, our development, us moving forward. Like, wow, what if, like in America here, when the year starts, the first 30 days or that is the entire January, people try to go on a break, or they do like a fast. Like, oh, I won't drink alcohol for the first 30 days. Some people do that here in the United States, and that was amazing. I met a couple of friends, and they said they were on this break, and I'm like, what was it all about? They say it's 1 month, the first 1 month of the year, they are not going to drink alcohol. How if we start implementing that? Maybe you say, okay, maybe in the next 2 weeks, I'll abstain from alcohol. In the next 1 week, I'll abstain from alcohol. But that is more on the solution side. But first, I want us to be able to agree that this is a problem. So where are you joining us from? Please let us know. Where are you joining us from? I want to know you. I see you. I appreciate your input on this platform. I appreciate you coming together to have this conversation with me, because it's only through these conversations that we get clarity on the real issues that are affecting the development of our continent. And my point is, alcoholism has robbed Africans from opportunities, growth, and development than bad government ever will. Do you agree? I know of people that will spend at least a minimum of 4 hours every day drinking. And when they spend those number of hours drinking, they also spend money while doing that. You don't drink for free, right? It's not. And you will see like, oh, okay, give them 1 month. And now a friend shows up and you're so excited with that friend, and you forget that this money that you're spending is the money that you were supposed to pay your children's school fees with. And you forget to understand that this money was money that was supposed to feed you for the next 3 days while you go to your job. And all of a sudden, oh, give that guy 1 month. Oh, give this friend 1 month. Oh, let's get a round of chicken. Everybody get a round of chicken. How much is a round of chicken? Oh, that is it, guys. And all of a sudden, the tab comes. You are owing money. Like, oh my God, what just happened? I just spent maybe $500. I mean, I thought I came here just to spend maybe like 20, 30, 40 bucks drinking. Now the tab is $500, or it's $200, or it's $150. And all of a sudden, that is how much you're spending on alcohol. And you leave there sad. Maybe that's your grocery money for the week, and you spent it in the night. And now guess what? The next day, you're in pain. So what do you think? Alcoholism has robbed us from opportunities, guys. It has robbed us from opportunities than bad government. You're spending 4 hours of your time every day, not to even talk of weekends. And we spend all this time. And guess what happens? We are not producing while we are spending that time drinking. We are not creative when we are spending all that time drinking. We are not thinking accurately. Critical thinking, guys, it requires your mind not to be contaminated by anything, so that you can be able to be focused on that task or focus on that idea. So what happens? Like, that's why, like, Donald Trump says, hi, I learned from my elder brother. He was a heavy drinker. I refused that I won't drink. That's why you see, regardless of what Trump says, no, I didn't. And I refused, and I stopped drinking. I didn't. He never drank in his life because he saw the brother's life. And I just want to be clear with these guys. What do you think? Alcohol has dealt with us. Now, think about it, man. Alcohol has messed our community up. There's not an event that you see people gather without drinking heavily. I know of a man who passed away in Dallas, Texas. This man was very, very smart. He used to run. He used to represent his country in the Olympics. But what happened? He went out one day, he was drinking. And while he was drinking, he was driving at the same time. And as he was driving, what happened? This man he was pulled over by the police. And this man went to prison because he was under the influence of alcohol while driving. This man spent some years in prison. When he came out, he was very feeble, sick, and passed away shortly after. And I just want to let you know it was a tragic, because the entire community looked at this smart, brilliant, agile young man and saw how his life went down before our eyes, and everybody was shocked. And my story to everyone watching is alcohol is very dangerous, and I want us to come up with a plan today, wherever you're watching from, and see how you can start limiting your intake of this substance. And maybe over time, you're going to get rid of alcohol and your life can be better. Also, most countries don't even have like the age restriction for alcohol consumption. Where I grew up, I never heard about the age. I was born in Cameroon. I've never heard about oh, you got to start drinking alcohol when you're maybe 21. Like in America, you got to turn 21 to drink alcohol. No, back home, nah. You start drinking when you look like you should be drinking. And that's it. You start drinking when you look like you should be drinking. So 12, 13, we find young people drinking alcohol. And that is the reality. That is the story. And so my point is, guys, let's face this monster to the face. Let's fight the spirit. It is a spirit. And Solomon in the Bible says, be very careful of those who drink. And the Bible equates drinking to people who are in pain and agony. And he says, give them so that they can drink and forget their sorrow. But the people that I know are on this platform are people, if you're watching this video right now, I know you want growth, you want development, you want to become a better human being. And that is why this message is tailored for you. And my plan is that, or my dream, my goal for you is that you are able to come up with a strategy and get rid of this substance in your life so that you can be and do everything that God created you to have. This message is not for everybody. You're on this platform, and that is why I'm talking to you, because I know that everyone here is committed to making an incremental growth in some aspect of their life. If you're watching this video and you're on this platform, you're committed to excellence, you're committed to growth, you're committed to development, you're committed to making the world a better place. And that is why I'm talking to you watching specifically. And so put that in the comment section. What is your take on things? What do you think? Do you agree with me or not? Alcohol has robbed us of opportunities. I know friends that you've called them and you ask, but why didn't you show up? Oh, they will tell you this story. My daughter was in this situation. Somebody called me and blah, blah, blah. But the fact is they were somewhere drinking, right? They didn't show up because they were somewhere drinking. They didn't show up on time. Why? Because they were somewhere drinking, and you were calling and they were drinking and talking, and the appointment became less important than the alcohol that they were drinking. So the alcohol was more important than the appointment they had with you, and that is why they didn't show up. And my question to you is, do you agree? Do you agree of the effects of alcohol? Again, I want to reiterate this point. When you drink, you see double. You see double. You see the road. Instead of seeing one road, you see two roads. And instead of seeing one person, you see two people. Because this is the reality, right? And when you drink too much, maybe you start seeing three people or four. This is scientifically proven. Imagine what happens to your vision. Because sometimes people are like, oh, don't condemn people from drinking alcohol. Why are you telling people not to drink alcohol? No, I want to go into the effect of alcohol. What happens to the human being after drinking? So we have lost amazing people because of alcohol. Across the world, we have lost amazing human beings just because they were under the influence of alcohol. And like I said, again, when you smoke is different. When you smoke, the road is bumpy. You see like a slippery slope. That is what you see when you've smoked. But when you're under the influence of alcohol, you see double. So somebody's driving, all of a sudden they find themselves on the next lane and they're like, oh, they think it's all cool, until they crash and they're like, damn, I was on the wrong side of the road. And all of a sudden, that is it. They're in handcuffs, they have a DUI, and they are going to jail. And guys, what do you think? Alcohol has robbed us of opportunities. Even if you've never been in an accident, even if you've never fought somebody after you've drunk, but alcohol, the time, the money alcohol has taken from us, I want to fight that spirit. Africa is not poor. To be real, realistically, Africans are not poor people. If you pull your resources and your connections together, you will make the world a better place. Africans are not poor people. I refuse to think that Africans are poor people, because I've seen the amount of money that goes into alcohol alone. That money can be used to develop our continent, build communities. That time can be used to double our production, increase our capacity, and be able to stretch us. So what do you think, guys? Wow, this is an interesting write-up. Safe say, very well said, sir. And then I'm going to read this interesting comment from Obaredes. Yes, Obaredes. I hope I'm not butchering the name. I hope I'm saying it right. So Obaredes says, alcohol has a two causes. Okay. Has a two causes between people who drink alcohol and without people that drink alcohol. They are happy having drink alcohol. Having alcohol, their life are incomplete without alcohol. But once they take alcohol, some of them lost their control from themselves, and because of alcohol, something dangerous happens for the people that don't drink alcohol. Yeah, that's true. That don't drink alcohol, that don't take alcohol. So they are victims, right? There are people that become victims because of you drinking, and they were just hanging on the side of the road, and then you bump into them, and now they become victims of that. Interesting write-up though. I like it. So he says, don't drink alcohol, take their lives that has a nice and good condition to think not only for their families, but also to all people surrounding their life. That's why there is a big difference about people who take alcohol without taking alcohol. Yeah. So interesting write-up. So the reality is, there's consequence, right? There are consequences for alcohol. When you drink, it is easy for you to fight someone. If you're driving, it's easy for you to get into a car crash and hurt other people who don't even drink. And when you're not drinking, the reality of what she's saying is you turn to be protective, that you protect everybody around you. Your environment, you can protect people. Your environment is safe when you're not under the influence of alcohol. And I want to let you know, guys, this quite an interesting conversation that we get to have about the impact of alcohol on our community. Why Africa or other countries around the world where you find yourself, why alcohol has been of a very, very negative impact to our lives and our communities and our jobs and our businesses, our productive capacity, everything that you can even think about. The impact of alcohol. Alcohol has done us more harm than good. It has cost us more relationship. I remember people that have divorced because the husband took all the money, and what was he doing? He went to the bar all the time, and the woman was very frustrated. Yeah, because all the time this guy gets money, he's in the bar, he's not coming home, and he's drinking. Sometimes she'll have to come pick him up at the bar. I remember a friend, they took that friend for therapy, right? You got to go seek therapy. There's ABA here, and the ABA program is all about helping you to cleanse your system and be able to get off alcoholism. We don't consider alcohol to be drugs in Africa, but here it is a drug. And you go and seek therapy to relieve yourself from that attachment that you have with that drug. And people will go for therapy. There's a prominent businessman here called, interesting. Sorry? Yes, interesting, guys. Yes, so I just want to let you know, guys, amazing. Everybody joining, I just want to let you know you're welcome to this very interesting conversation on alcoholism and its impact on our community. And I just want to say, when it happens like that, you realize that you lose focus. You can lose your job. You can lose opportunities. And this man will drink every day. He will leave his job. He's in the bar. He will get into fights. He will do all kinds of crazy things. And the wife is there struggling with this man. And all of a sudden she says, I want to file for a divorce. I'm tired of this marriage. I'm tired of this habit. There are many people that have their relationship. They will tell you other stories, but maybe it was because this spouse was caught up in alcoholism. And this drug was causing a hard time in their marriage. Because when he comes back, maybe you pick up a fight with your wife. Who knows, right? And you pick up a fight with your wife, or you pick up a fight with your husband because of alcoholism. And before you know it, you are breaking stuffs at home, right? You're fighting. Maybe you break the TV, you break the computer, you break the mirror. And now you guys have to buy another one the next day. You have to replace these things. You break chairs, or you break the door, or you break the window. Why? Because you were under the influence of alcohol. I just want us to face this, because if we can be honest about the impact of what this does to our community, then we can start finding solutions. Then we can start placing some boundaries around the consumption or the intake of this substance so that we can have better communities. Because at the end of the day, what we want better houses, we want better families, we want better businesses, we want better jobs, we want better communities, we want better children, we want a better world. And nobody is coming to make that for us. We got to fix and create and build the kind of world that we want to see. And how are we going to do that? By identifying our weaknesses and be able to put in policies and systems around our weaknesses so that we can be able to overcome them, right? That is it. Because if you cannot identify it, you won't think like alcohol is a drug. Alcohol is a heavy drug. A drug is anything that after you consume it, you're not in your normal state anymore. It is a drug. If you take it in and then you start acting in a way that you will not act compared to when you were normal, or if you were in your normal state, that is a drug. Any substance. And today we are looking at alcohol. Any substance that you take and it's going to destabilize your focus, like you cannot focus, your mind is acting a certain way. Guys, that is a drug. We've known of celebrities, musicians that have died because of cocaine, because they were alcoholics. And the reality is their lives were cut short because they got involved in this thinking that it boasts your energy. Because somebody used to tell me, I used to think like that because before I came to know the Lord and became a pastor, I used to drink in my youth. In my youth, I used to drink. And the reality is I was involved in entertainment. I was into music. I was into acting. I was into dancing. I was in showbiz. I was in everything. And the reality was, I was told that anytime you drink or you take something, you get on stage, you'll be more confident. And they would tell me that if you see people like Obama, you see all the celebrities, they drink something, they take something to be able to produce at the rate that you see them producing. Like they are under the influence of something. I'm like, really? They said nobody on earth is able to do anything at that level without being under the influence of drugs. And I realized today that is complete bogus. It is lies. And I'm letting you know, guys, my confidence, I'm so high on me. Today, I'm high on me. I can get high. If you want to see me get high, I can get high on me. Yeah, because when you know who you are, you get high on you. And my goal is to help you understand who you are so you can be high on you. You can be high on just the energy that you get up every morning and the excitement that you know that you are alive. Your life has meaning. You're here to serve a purpose. Guys, you are high on that. That in itself should give you some energy and passion to get out there and face the world in a whole different way. And that's my goal to help you here with, to let you know that you can have confidence without alcoholism. And I can give you that confidence. I thought like that. I mean, I've thought about that. I'm like, alcohol could be really something that could help you. But the reality is, guys, you can be high on the truth. You can be high on your dreams. You can be high on God. The Bible says something in the book of Acts. I don't know if you're religious watching right now, but it says something in the book of Acts that when those guys, the Holy Spirit came over them, right? People were like, these guys are drunk this morning. They were drunk. The people thought they were drunk. Like they saw the people and they were like, they were drunk. And people said, no, these guys are not drunk. It is the Holy Spirit. And it got me thinking, like, yeah, you can be high on the Holy Spirit. You can be high on God. You can be high on your dreams. You can be high on your purpose. And most of the times I've realized most people who drink probably have lost a sense of direction in life, or they feel hopeless in life. They feel like they're not getting the things that they ought to get in life. They feel like they are not achieving their dreams. And now alcohol becomes the escape route. alcohol is an escape. Let's name it. Let's say it for what it. Let's really call it for what it does or what it is in our lives. Alcohol is an escape mechanism. People are trying to escape from reality. People are trying to run away from their real situation, just to realize the next day you're gonna meet. If you're owing somebody, you have to still get up the next morning and understand you gotta pay that debt. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? The next day you wake up, you have to still go face that enemy. You have to still go face that job. You have to still face that co-worker. You have to face your spouse. You have to face your children. You have to face reality. Alcohol can only give you temporal relief. It can only give you temporal satisfaction. It can only give you temporal courage. It can only give you temporal boldness the next minute. That's why you got to keep spending money on it if you want to stay bold at that level. And it's not real, because when you face reality, guys, it hits you really hard. And it is better we're like, okay, I'm not going to be on this alcohol to face this reality. I got to get up and say, yeah, man, there's some stuff here I need to take care of. Yeah, there's some stuff here I really need to take care of. Alcohol cannot save it. And because I'm going to pay money to drink the alcohol anyway, so I'm still spending money that I would have invested towards solving the problem. I'm taking that money and I'm drinking alcohol with it, and it's taking my time. I can get in a fight with someone. No, I'll better take this money and invest it towards facing this real problem. What do I need to do to get this promotion? Why are they treating me this way in my job, at my family? I got to face the people. Rather, I'll drink and then I come and attack them under the influence of alcohol, and I make a fool of myself. And maybe you get beaten even, because if the guy is strong, they're going to deal with you. And then you get up the next morning, you're bruised up, you fight. That's what happens, right? Yeah. I remember a guy, a very good neighbor of ours, strong man, bold, big. But he died because he was fighting on a New Year Eve. And this guy, because he was drunk, and this guy took a knife and killed him. And he died. He was strong. So when he was beating this guy was like, man, you can't beat me like this. And he took a knife and killed him because he was big, really huge guy. And that is how his life ended. And I just want to say, I've seen a lot of great people die before my eyes because of alcohol. Amazing people that would have gone on to change the world. And it hurts me so bad. I saw my father drink himself, and knowing that his health was not the best, but yet he drank. Even after doctors advised him not to, but yet he would secretly drink. My aunties, my cousins, I've seen people, amazing human beings, get their life directed in a certain path because of alcohol. And I just want to say, this spirit has robbed us from opportunities than a bad government ever will. It has robbed us from opportunities than anything you can ever imagine. And so I thought today we get to face alcohol for what it is and be able to address the problem from its root. It is an escape mechanism. It's an escape tactic. The goal of drinking is to run away from the problem that we will still have to face tomorrow. So my job here today is to help us have perspective so you can really face this problem, face it for what it is, and be able to handle it and gain victory. So guys, I don't know, but I do know there are some things we can fix, right? We cannot fix everything in the world, but the few that we identify, we can be able to address them well, gain victory in those areas, and see how our life unfolds, so that we can be able to live a better life, a better future, and make the world a better place. I think we've gradually come to the end of this session. I just want to appreciate everyone who shared the video. Yeah, I want to let you know, hey, if you're sharing, please just share the video again. Your cousin, your brother, your sister, someone who has been under the influence of alcohol, or someone who knows someone. I know if you're from Africa, or you're in Africa, you know somebody that is under the influence of alcohol. Share this video with them. It will be a blessing to them. And maybe they don't get to hear you saying it, and then you say, no, this person is saying it, not me, and he's showing you the effect of alcohol. I'm not the one saying it. And I think that would be awesome.
But do you also think people drink when they see others drinking and they don't know what to do about it? They don't have no financial planning?
Yeah, that's a good. Another point might be people will drink because of association, right? You drink because you see other friends drinking, and they don't have plans with their money, and you probably don't have plans with your money. And so having a good plan with your money or saving is very, very important. And so as we wrap up this session, I want to just show you briefly, because many people, that's why maybe you don't know what to do with your money, and you think maybe the best thing to do is to exchange or buy alcohol and drink alcohol like everyone else. But it's very important that you understand how to plan and use your money diligently. So this is the reality of the facts when it comes to how to actually allocate your finances. So there is a 50 30 20 rule, and this rule stipulates that 50% of your money should go towards needs. You need to pay your house rent, you need to buy food, all of the things in your life that are needs. 50% of your income should be channeled towards that. Now 30% of your money should go towards wants, things that you can live without, but it helps make your life better. So 30% of your income should go towards that. Okay. It could be things like maybe like in New York, you don't really need a car. You can live in New York without a car. So buying a car in New York should be a want. But if you live in Texas, like where I do live, a car is a need. But in New York, a car is a want. Because why? They have amazing public transportation system. You don't even need any of these things. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this to help us understand that you need to differentiate between what is a need and what is a want, and allocate your income properly, allocate your resources properly. So 50% of your money should go towards your needs, the things that you need to survive, your house rent, your food, water, electricity, maybe insurance, the things that are needs for you. And then your wants, maybe this fancy dress, you don't really need that dress, but if you want to buy it, fine. This fancy clothes or whatever that is that you spend your money on, maybe another microwave when you know the microwave you have is working. All of those things that are wants that you know you can live without. Now 30% of your income should go towards those things to help enhance the quality of your life, right? And then the 20% of your income should be directed towards savings. What I'm saying is when you take your money, you should be able to cut the 20% that goes towards savings first before you even think of distributing the 30 and the 50. So make sure that you cut this 20% and set it aside before you even venture into the distribution of the 30 and the 50. This is going to change your life forever. And this is what I leave everyone watching this video with. Because what that does is when you're disciplined with this, guys, you're able to save up money. And now you don't find yourself having loose cash that you might think of, oh, this friend is drinking and that's why I should join them out there and drink. But no, you have a purpose for your money. And because you've saved it, you're investing that money and you see it grow, you are creating generational wealth for your family. You're creating generational wealth for the next generation. And that's awesome. And you are actually building a path towards financial freedom, because that is what we want. Financial independence. Because we need that in our community. We need that in our countries. We need that in our villages, our families. We need financial independence. And the best way to achieve financial independence, guys, is to be strategic with our finances by properly allocating our finances. So 30% of your money should go towards wants, 50% towards needs, 20% towards saving. I call it the 50 30 20 rule. So guys, this is amazing. Take it and run with it, implement it, and just be diligent with your money. Advise the people around you. It is okay to tell that friend, man, stop drinking. It's not gonna hurt you saying that. You think you're gonna lose your friendship because of that? If they don't want it anyway, guys, then it was not even better if you were friends with them, because at the end of the day they will drink and you get into trouble or fight someday. And the same situation. I remember we went out to play soccer, and these guys were out there drinking, and a friend was on medication. He was sick. He was on medication, and he was about to open up an alcohol drink and drink. And the friend looked at him and like, dude, you are on medication. What are you doing? And they went back and forth. And the guy held the alcohol in his hands. He had not yet opened it. And his friend said, you're on medication. Come on, man. And he was able to drop it down. And I'm like, that's a good friend. and he is on medication, and you know that if you're on medication and you drink alcohol, it's going to weaken the power of that medication. It will not be effective. It will not actually heal you or treat you. So he was able to drop the drink, and I'm like, that's a good association. If you can hang around friends that will tell you, hey, yeah, because real friends are not friends that will just try to pat you on the back and tell you, or be a yes man, or a yes mom, or a yes man. A real friend is a friend that will tell you, man, I love you so much, bro, but you see this alcohol thing, it's messing you up. You got to quit drinking. That's a good friend. And I admired that relationship, and I just watched it. I was just on the side, but I saw what happened. It was quite interesting. It inspired me, and I'm like, okay, then you can find some good friends around the soccer field, around the soccer, when people go to play soccer, because they will really tell you what time it is. And that's a good friend. So I encourage you to tell the people that you love the reality of what is going on, that, man, this thing is screwing you up. This alcohol is robbing you. You will compromise because of alcohol. There are some people you shouldn't be hanging out with, but because they will give you a drink, you show up. Yeah, there are some relationships, oh, this friendship is supposed to be over. Just because they will buy you booze, you're going to show up and suck up the trash because you want to be able to drink alcohol. So if you can let go, the Bible reminds us that if you can get off gluttony, go to places you must not eat. Right? Yeah, you want to put something in your mouth, and so with that you compromise, and all of a sudden you're made a mockery of, or people don't take you serious, or they will say things to you that you didn't like. Because, guys, something powerful happens when you eat people's food or drink their drink. They have the power to talk over you or order you around. But if you don't drink their drink and you don't eat their food, they are very mindful of you. I learned this very early in life, and not because I wanted that, but because I was just reserved. I just didn't want to just be the kind of guy that shows up and want to eat and drink everything. And I realized that there was a certain degree of respect that comes with that. And I'm like, there's something with this. But the reality is, something happens when you show up and you don't eat their food and you don't drink their drink. They will respect you. They will respect you. And I hope you got some value out of this video. And I just want to let you know, spread the message around. Alcohol has robbed us more of opportunities than our bad government, than corruption. Yeah, most of the people drinking, they are not doing businesses that government have to tax them. But yeah, they complain about tax. What you're doing is, that alcohol that you don't pay tax for it, right? Yeah, you drink from morning to night, 8 hours. And we brag of drinking. We brag on how many bottles. They used to laugh at me for drinking 4. Or drinking 3. They say, you drink 3, you're gone. And they used to laugh at me. And I'm like, dude. When I look back at it, I'm like, really? So you laugh at me that I cannot drink at the level that you drink? We brag. There was a guy I heard that would drink like 20 liters of palm wine, or 2 crates of beer. And those were the heroes. Come on, guys, when you look at this, but when you cross on the other side, you really laugh at these things, because it is the reality. How can you be bragging of drinking like you're a hero because you drink? Nah. So guys, my whole point is, let's try to have perspective on these things. Regulate our drinking habits, allocate our finances. We've talked about the 50, 30, 20. Make sure that you save money, save and invest. Tragedy is going to hit you. Most of us compromise in Africa. We don't understand savings and investing, so we live at the mercy of people as well. There are some people that you want to hang around with, some friends, some siblings, some people that don't even mean well for you. You must be around, because somehow if something happens to you tomorrow, they promise that they will take care of you or your children. But if you have your savings and your investments, you don't have to worry about anything. Because if something happens to your family, they will be well taken care of, because you plan for their financial destiny. But I'm not also undermining the value of beautiful, amazing relationships with family and with friends. I'm just saying you should live with people because they mean well for you and you guys mean well for each other, and not because you are afraid that if something happens to you, you have nowhere to run to. You should get rid of that fear by planning for your finances. And then when you meet people, you can be genuine with them on why you are there for that relationship and be able to tell them the truth. Some people, you won't tell them the truth, because if you tell them the truth, you might lose that relationship and something happens to you, they will not help you, right? But when you have your finances together, You look at people in the face and tell them, man, this is messed up, dude. You got to stop this drinking habit. This thing is not helping you. I don't see you going anywhere with this. Because the Bible says those people are going to be poor. Those who drink and those who consume alcohol and they are gluttons, they are going to be broke. It's just a matter of time. And somebody will say, oh, if I had to be broke, I'll be broke by now. Maybe I'll still have money. I want to let you know you could be further than where you are if you were not drinking. Facts. You would have been further than where you are if you were not drinking. Truth be told. I mean, I cannot even phantom the time. I mean, I've gone around some friends and just watched them drink. And I'm like, man, I cannot imagine that I'm leaving right now. These people are still going to be here for the next 4 hours drinking. And guess what I'm going to do with that 4 hours? I'm going to go on. I'm going to be on some book, on some podcast, on some research, on some idea, on some meeting. I'll be doing something with my life. Guess what happens? This compounds over years. I'll be on a whole different place. And you'll be like, but what happened? Why is this man this way and this one this way? This is the easiest path towards success, by you reducing your intake of alcohol and spending more time in learning. Most people, we stop reading books when we just graduate. When we get that certificate, we don't read anymore. And why? Because we spend the rest of the time talking to some friend, or maybe in some club partying, or maybe drinking. And this time we would have been investing reading a book. Yeah. I mean, I just sat at the mechanic today, just picked that book for a few minutes because I love knowledge. And because of that, I think my wife was reading another book. I was reading another book. We got something from both books. It was just sitting there in 5 minutes, and people were looking at us like, these people look funny. But it was interesting because we left there with something. She got something out of that book and we shared it. And I got something out of my own book and we shared it together. And we left there with some knowledge. At least it sparked us with something. We saw even some book titles that were like, oh, this is a good book to buy and continue reading. So, guys, that is it. The love of wisdom. And so I'll leave you with this word. I'm rooting for you. I'm praying for you. I believe in you. God doesn't make a fool. Everyone watching here, you're very important. You're smart. You're intelligent. God doesn't make anything that is bad. Anything that God made in the beginning of the Bible, we hear it is good. You are good. Yeah, you are good. And whatever has led you to the track that you find yourself today, or a sibling of yours where they find themselves today, and I just want to say God is faithful to redeem you. He is faithful to put you on track so that you can be able to be and do all that you were created to. And my prayer for you is that you have kind of an inventory, a debrief, a reflection of your life and how far you've come, and be able to get on the right track so that you can be able to do the best that you can to make this life worth living for you and your family. That is my prayer for you. I'm so excited that you joined this program or you joined this conversation. And I just want to let you know, guys, I love you guys so much. And still, I'm rooting for you. I'm here to pray for you. I'm here to brainstorm with you, to learn with you, to study with you, to think with you. And hopefully we can build a better future, a better community, better families for our children. And until next time, guys,